Well, Crusaders, what do we have in front of us? We have Stellar jumping a little bit in value. It's more visible on the 24-hour span here as well. And if we really look at this, it's right off of the support going back to February. Pretty interesting how things line up like that, huh? This is also why, when we think about support, this is why buying support is so important to understand. Support is crucial in this space, and it typically, when it builds a floor, leads to something like this. I'm very happy for those that did buy XLM, but this move is not that exciting. Let's just be honest here. From the low, we're up about roughly 23.5% to the high wick here. It's about almost 30%. It's like 27% flat. It's nice. It's a great move. However, I'm not going to be celebrating this move until we are back to those prior highs. And we're talking about roughly 352% from the bottom here, even from our current price action, up 270%. I still think that we go much higher than that, though. I have been talking about XLM doing something similar to like XRP from 2017, 2018 for a bit of time. And don't get me wrong, yes, XLM did a very good move back there as well. But I'm just expecting XLM to hit like the high $3 plus range at some point in time. Doesn't have to be, this year or anything like that, but I'm definitely looking at it happening in the future. But even in my previous videos, I talked about $1.50 to like $2 for XLM being a pretty fair overall valuation. I still stand by that because Stellar and XLM are so undervalued. Like when we think about XLM, it is probably one of the most overlooked and undervalued projects in the space. And I said that up until just recently. Now, looking at Stellar, the main thing that really kind of sold pretty much me on the big idea of Stellar becoming a much larger piece of this new financial system. Obviously, yes, we talked about all of the documents, the named documents where Stellar and XLM were named, going all the way back to like even 2020 and even prior. That's definitely great to understand, but I think the biggest thing was the clear, choice from big institutional players like Franklin Templeton. And that's where we started to see the big picture, because these names are not just choosing Stellar because they like the name. They're choosing it because they like the technology and what Stellar has to offer, which is why when we look at the valuations here across the board, yeah, we're still seeing tokenization going insane on Stellar. Franklin Templeton has over $580 million tied back to Stellar tokenized right now. So that's very exciting. And again, Franklin Templeton has been tokenizing on Stellar before it was even cool to tokenize in the space, since going all the way back as far as like roughly 2022. But we just got an even bigger confirmation of Stellar being a dominant name in tokenization. And that's from the Dtcc. And it all goes back to that May 4th press release from the Dtcc regarding them advancing the development of their new tokenization service. It convened 50 plus firms to drive digital asset adoption. Now, yes, Ripple Prime is on here, and yes, Ripple Prime does tie back to the XRP ledger, which we've talked about. You also have a few other names on here like C and things like that. It's awesome to see. It's great. But Stellar isn't on here. And everyone's like, oh, well, Stellar's not on here, so I guess Stellar's not going to be chosen. But today changed that. And we'll talk about it. Obviously, we'll get there. But the main thing here that we are focused on is the fact that this will begin in July. So we are roughly a month out from this beginning. And the service officially launches in October of this year. So about roughly 5 months out. The craziest part about this is that they're tokenizing $114 trillion. And now we got confirmation of Stellar and the XLM network being chosen for this along with these other names. But remember that they plan on tokenizing their entire stack. But it's just the beginning. we will rebuild the infrastructure and rails of U.S. capital markets. This is coming from the global head of the DTCC. Check this out.
We have about $100 trillion in assets, 1.4 million CUSIPs within our custody. We're allowing our participants and their clients to have the ability of leveraging tokenized assets as collateral, and you can move that collateral literally at the speed of the network. So think about it, if you're from Kyoto, right? So if you're trying to finance security during Japanese trading hours, we're asleep here in the US and you want to use a US security to do so, if it's in your wallet, you can move it, you can use it. And this is just the beginning of what we believe over a period of time, that we will rebuild the infrastructure and the rails of the US capital markets.
And when the DTCC, one of the largest financial giants in the world, is telling you this, it's time to listen in. It's time to lock in, pay attention to what they're saying. Because yeah, this is happening now. We are seeing a complete rewiring of our entire financial system, and the names of these networks are now starting to show up in documents. They're now starting to partner and announce the networks that are going to be tapped in, and Stellar is now officially one of them. But on top of that, Nadine Shakar, who you just heard from, here we have at HederaCon, we're tokenizing US markets starting July 13th, no longer proof of concepts, we are ready to go.
How many extra points for how many zeros are in the quadrillion? I mean, the numbers are really impressive, and if you saw this morning, so in December, we actually were granted by the SEC action letter, which really propagated our ability to move forward and tokenize U.S. markets. And as Jürgen said, they're the largest markets that are out there. And this morning, we announced that on July 13th, we will start with the first tokenization of U.S. assets officially from the depository. And we're calling it a soft launch to really help the industry get ready for the big launch that will occur in October. So this is no longer a pipe dream. This is no longer talking about proof of concepts. We are ready to go. And with the pipes that Ryan is building, and I know, Rajiv, you're going to talk about the risk side of things, we're ready to go, guys. So this is happening. And slowly but surely, the U.S. market is coming on rails, on blockchain, and we're going to tokenize and manage our future. So that's what we're doing.
Great introduction then, Rajiv.
And yeah, it's no longer a game of, oh, I wonder if it's happening. It's happening now. And that's where we go over here to the DTCC and the Stellar Development Foundation announcing today plans to enable the tokenization of DTC custodied assets on the Stellar Org network. This collaboration advances the DTCC's multi-chain strategy and expands how traditional assets move across digital ecosystems. DTC tokenized assets are expected to be made available on the Stellar network in the first half of 2027, supporting the evolution of a more open, interoperable, and efficient financial ecosystem. Clear confirmation that Stellar will be one of the networks chosen for $114 trillion. Let me say that one more time for you all. $114 trillion. The market cap of Stellar is not even $10 billion. Absolutely insane. We have over here that the connection with Stellar advances the DTCC standards-driven multi-chain strategy followed the receipt of a no-action letter from the SEC in December of last year, authorizing the DTC to implement and operate a new service to tokenize real-world DTC custodied assets, which will enable market participants to leverage traditional assets in a digital ecosystem with opportunities for faster settlement, greater asset mobility, extended trading hours, and lower cost and risk. The DTC tokenized assets will have the same investor protections, entitlements, and safeguards as traditionally held securities. Now, the first half of 2027 is the target. This integration will support rapid conversion of traditional assets into tokenized form and the full asset lifecycle, including relevant corporate actions and reporting. The collaboration represents another step forward in the DTCC's efforts to build an open, interoperable digital infrastructure that bridges traditional and digital markets. We are committed to expanding opportunities for market participants to utilize tokenized assets to access deeper liquidity, achieve greater efficiency, and increase transparency on a public blockchain, while retaining the same investor protections and safeguards participants are used to today for traditionally held assets at the DTC. Tokenization can enable new levels of transaction and capital efficiency, observability, and also collateral mobility, as well as support extended trading hours. The DTCC is the backbone of global capital markets, and integrating their tokenization service with Stellar connects public blockchains or blockchain networks to regulated market infrastructure. Stellar's proven compliance-minded architecture, open infrastructure, and risk management capabilities are aligned with market demands and expectations. Our network was built for this moment. We have always believed that blockchain's utility for finance is to be the rail that institutional-grade markets can depend on. And yeah, it's going to be incredible to watch this really happen. They are going to be tokenizing highly liquid assets such as constituents of the Russell 1000, ETFs tracking major indices, and U.S. Treasury bills, bonds, and notes consistent with the DTC's regulatory obligations. They are focused on unlocking opportunities to drive tokenization safely, fairly, and at scale to help market participants improve capital efficiency, liquidity, and resilience across global markets within a trusted, regulated framework. We are leveraging our 50-plus years of expertise in clearing and settlement to galvanize the industry and foster collaboration across a wide cross-section of market players to enable tokenization of real-world assets. So yeah, I mean, this is insane to see, but like it's really happening now. And Stellar is one of the networks chosen for this. You can see the announcements pretty much everywhere. Now, Stellar has a lot of eyes on it. When I was talking about XLM back in 2024, 2025, even, this year, and prior, like I was talking about XLM back in 2021, 2022, 2023, like all throughout like the last 6 years, basically. Almost nobody cared. Now people are starting to wake up to the idea that XLM isn't just your typical digital asset. XLM is a dominant tokenization giant that's a powerhouse for these, big players. And I've talked about it in previous videos as well. Like when it actually happens, it's going to be too late to buy XLM cheap. And right now, we still have the opportunity to buy XLM cheap. But that's because tokenization didn't start to hit the network. When we finally get those announcements that, it's now finally live on Stellar, or, the tokenized value is now hitting Stellar from the DTCC, like it's going to be everywhere. People are running out of time to buy XLM. To buy a lot of these utility-based projects. And I've stated it many times over, and people still think that it's just clickbait, that, it's just for, views and clicks. No, it's the truth. Like, we are running out of time to buy these things cheap. And eventually, you're going to see that reflected on the chart. Right now, the market's down. Right now, the market's giving us an opportunity in disguise as negative price action. But people are still just fixated on how bad the market is and, I'm done with crypto, forget it. When we just got confirmation that $114 trillion, which, by the way, the crypto market's not even at $10 trillion in market cap, but $114 trillion will be tokenized on public networks. We just got confirmation of that. Think about how insane of a headline that is. $114 trillion moving onto public blockchains when the entire crypto market's not even worth $3 trillion. It's officially happening. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely like, subscribe, turn notifications on because there's more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, Nick, thanks for watching. Peace out, guys.